Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. And I hope you enjoyed, if you enjoy that sort of thing, watching this Super Bowl. And a little dark spot in my heart. Everybody's got one. I have to admit it. A little hardened. It's like a stone. A little dark spot in my heart was open. Like around halftime, something momentous would happen. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, what are we going to do? We're going to, while people are filing in to the chats, getting ready to say hi to each other, and we're going to talk about the issues facing us today. Take some time to get yourself a cup of coffee, an adult beverage, or a cold brew. Maybe even just a glass of water, whatever you want. And I'll play some videos for you to cogitate upon while people get into the chats. And then what are we going to do? We're going to be like butter and get on.
I've always been amused by a kind of a paradox. Suppose you go around and ask people. The United States, as you know, before 1914 had completely free immigration. Anybody could get on a boat and come to these shores, and if he landed on Ellis Island, he was an immigrant. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? You will find hardly a soul who will say it was a bad thing. Almost everybody will say it was a good thing. But then I suppose I say to the same people, but now what about today? Do you think we should have free immigration? Oh no, they'll say, we couldn't possibly have free immigration today. Why, that would flood us with immigrants from India and God knows where. We'd be driven down to a bare subsistence level. What's the difference? How can people be so inconsistent? Why is it that free immigration was a good thing before 1914 and free immigration is a bad thing today? Well, there's a sense in which that answer is right. There's a sense in which free immigration, in the same sense as we had it before 1914, is not possible today. Why not? Because it is one thing to have free immigration to jobs. It is another thing to have free immigration to welfare. And you cannot have both. If you have a welfare state, if you have a state in which every resident is promised certain minimum level of income or a minimum level of subsistence, regardless of whether he works or not, produces it or not, well then it really is an impossible thing. If you have free immigration in the way in which we had it before 1914, everybody benefited. The people who were here benefited, the people who came benefited. Because nobody would come unless he or his family thought he would do better here than he would elsewhere. And the new immigrants provided additional resources, provided additional possibilities for the people already here. So everybody can mutually benefit. But on the other hand, if you come under circumstances where each person is entitled to a pro rata share of the pot, to take the extreme example, or even to a low level of the pot, then the effect of that situation is that free immigration would mean a reduction of everybody to the same uniform level. Of course, I'm exaggerating. It wouldn't go quite that far, but it would go in that direction. And it is that perception that leads people to adopt what at first seem like inconsistent values.
Storm zone. Yes, sir. I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Payback time. told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. If the deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm glad you all are here. How do you like my little meme there? Ha ha ha. Copy that, put it on your meta page. Why not? I think it's funny because that's the way it is, folks. For some of the normies, even though a lot of people don't like that term normie, because if you can't see what's going on, you're abnormal, I think. We're the normies, for crying out loud. But anyway, well, we ought to call them abnormies. But anyway, Rebecca, nice to see you. Todd, nice to see you. Rain, Robin, Cole's here. Tammy's here. Thank you, younger gang, for going by. Buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. Helping an old man out. I was getting despondent. Ha ha. Threads, nice to meet you. Welcome aboard. Rain's here. Let's see. Todd's here. Kim, nice to see you. Where's Flannel? Oh, I thought I saw Flannel Cheese. I must have had a crooked eye. Angela, where you been? Where you been? Ha ha. I had a friend, he's English, he had a little girl, and you come up to the house and she said, where you been? Where you been? But anyway, she's a cutie. Graybeard, how you doing? Nice to see you. You had family over. Yeah, you gotta spend time with your family. Tell them to tune in to Mountain Man. Have some fun. Miss Menderson. Put some booms in. Let's see here. All right, Graybeard's there. Everybody's here. Or not everybody, but a good chunk. I couldn't go on while the stupid bowl was up. But I was saying my dark little heart. I wanted something to happen. But I'm going to address real quick my thumbnail. Huge court win. Fundamental change begins. And in my title, I have straight to jail. Ha ha. Straight to jail. And I also have government firings. Right? Oh, and Savannah Guthrie's mother, the search is intensifying. And it is as we discussed. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. As we discussed the other day, I was talking about, well, things can happen in a home, and then all of a sudden a significant other, a relative, a friend, a spouse says, somebody broke in, I don't know what happened, and it looked like it might be going that way. So I'll talk about that, and we won't make any final determinations till we get all the information. But Donald Trump did say, was it yesterday or the day before, they're very close to have a definitive. And oddly, he used the term solution. I think something like that. Very diplomatic, but you definitely got the idea that they got their finger on the pulse. So anyway, Colette's here. All right, there you are, Colette. Nice to see you. Okay, so what's the fundamental change that's beginning? Well, this court, appeals court, said you get caught in this country and you have not come in properly. You don't have paperwork. You're just wandering around. In other words, an illegal alien that you don't get you can't get bonded out. For what? For what? Well, my court date. What court date? Any other country in the world, you're wandering around. You haven't come in properly. They throw your rear end in jail, or they put you on the next flight the hell out. That's what they do, and we do the same thing here. Until this lawfare began. Well, we need a writ of habeas corpus. It says so in the Constitution. Well, due process. Due process, you get, as I've said many times, you get the process you're due. So if someone is in the country illegally, due process is to determine whether or not they are an illegal alien. If the answer is yes, the next question, are you 14 years or older? Yes. Oh, we've gone through your due process. Jail. Deportation. Like the attorney Andrew Branca said, you don't get to go to your apartment and go through your things. You don't get a bond so you can get in your truck and drive home and tell your boss, sorry, I missed work. I'll be back in tomorrow. I got a court date coming up. My lawyer that's paid for by some NGO is going to try to clog up the system so damn bad. And we're calling the media too, because they're trying to separate my family. That crap is over. You just make your cot in your cell and wait for your. If you committed a crime, that's another story. You're going to be tried for that, but you're not going to be allowed to wander the streets anymore. Doesn't matter if you've been here 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's not my fault that you've been getting away with a crime. And just because you've been getting away with a crime, what took you so long? I should get more time because you took so long to catch me. Oh, you're right. Let him out. No. And that they have got thousands of these, what do they call, writs of habeas corpus, or these, what do they call it, hearings scheduled for habeas corpus. Get out of here. They're all worthless now. Go in the trash pail. Well, they're going to take it to the Supreme Court, and I believe that this will be upheld. And hey, this is huge. As Trump says, huge. Y-U-G-E. That's what I should have put on my thumbnail. But anyway, so a lot of attorneys that have been making a fortune off of this stuff aren't going to be making a fortune anymore. Go get a job, put the fries in the bag. Hi, Sherry, nice to see you. Where'd I leave off? Where'd my chats go? There. Tammy, we got Sherry, Tammy. Wait a minute. Mac, how you doing, Mac? Who'd I miss? Randy's here. Nice to see you, Randy. Beautiful. Ha ha ha. Nice to see you. All right. So, anyway, yeah, we've got all these judges have been, I'm getting ahead of myself. They're cutting ties with Harvard. And this is on top of a judge, I forget his name. He's an Asian judge, but he's American to the bone. Last year, he wrote a letter to Columbia University. He told them, don't send us any more of your graduates to be apprentices or anything like that. They're worthless. We don't know what you're teaching these people, and we don't have time to fool with them. So we're not accepting any more of your so-called graduates. Put an egg in a shoe and beat it. I was looking for this one. Hegseth announced that, here it is. Is this the one? Here's Hegseth anyway. Let me see if this is it. There he is. Get down and give me 20. Secretary of War Hegseth. File this under long overdue. Holy cow. Could have put this in bigger print. For us mature individuals, the Department of War is formally ending all professional military education, fellowships, and certificate programs with Harvard University. Harvard is woke. The War Department is not. Yes, sir. We'll give you a salute to that, Pete Hegseth. So, yeah, fundamental changes. These woke attorneys, just like these woke professors, woke teachers, they had an artificial demand that was created for their attitudes and beliefs. An artificial demand. Who was demanding these types of people to be in positions of authority or positions of influence over our young people? The deep state. Okay? That's who created the artificial demand. So anyway, where am I? I don't usually broadcast on Tuesday nights. Beautiful. Yeah. Tuesday nights and Saturday nights. I'm thinking of doing a 4-day-a-week stint, especially when the weather gets better. I've got so much to do. And as like with everything else in the story of my life, I am a one-man band. So we shall see. But anyway, let's see. I didn't miss anybody. Oh, okay. All right. Where'd you go? I'm just trying to make go between, find out what's going on in the chat, see if everybody, sometimes people get in their own conversations, which is wonderful. Anyway, I might as well put this up. Look at this. Donald Trump put this up. And it's interesting to me. It seems like he's asking the question. He's asking the question, does America have the resolve to deport illegal border crossers? And I'll get to a poll he posted in a little bit. Of course, we have the resolve, but what condition is our country and the rest of our country? We've got so many people that I'm a citizen. Well, Ilhan Omar says she's a citizen. We know damn good and well it's what did I call it? Counterfeit citizens. How many of them we got responding to these polls? Here's Citizen Free Press put this up. Breaking. Outrage is erupting. Get a load of this. After it was revealed that Waukegan High School teachers and staff in Chicago, Illinois, organized a school walkout displaying a crucified effigy of President Trump, prompting mass calls for all to fire all involved. Leave a message. Oh, really? Here's the video. Remember, you got those scissors in the thumbs up bar. If you slide the thumb, hey, by the way, did you give me a thumbs up? If you hadn't, go on out, give me a thumbs up, and come back in. Podge, Podge, the like button. Hey, if you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Hey, let me know something. But anyway, we'll be here. We'll be here when you get back. But anyway, in that same bar, there is a pair of scissors. After the video uploads, the chats replay after the video's finished uploading, usually about maybe 15 minutes after the live, maybe 20. There'll be a pair of scissors there. You can go to a spot and replay whatever section. You can send it to your friends, do a 2-minute clip, 1-minute clip, text it, whatever. Anyway, this will be a good one to send around. What warped mind came up with that? And look at the goober there with the soccer hoodie on. Get a haircut, kid. I'm getting to, Jiminy Crickets. I mean, we got to do something. We need to have a draft, compulsory service of some sort if somebody doesn't go into college or if they drop out of high school, whatever. We got things going a little too wild. Roland, nice to see you. Devin, nice to see you. But yeah, these are the people running our education system and teaching our children to run around the street throwing rocks at everybody or at vehicles and be like Ketanji Brown Jackson or whatever her name is, applauding anti-ICE stuff. But you know what I say. As far as the court ruling, and the other one about government firings, the courts upheld that Trump can, as chief executive, fire people, and he doesn't have to go through a whole lot of rigmarole. So it'll be another 50 to 100,000 going out the door very soon. Dead weight, weirdos, lawfare. Somebody got fired. Where is it? I didn't pull the article up because it takes you to all these crazy places. But the trend, just in senior Customs and Border Protection official fired for allegedly leaking sensitive information. We had a subversive. We had somebody from the stolen land crowd. A radical. So we got to flush those radicals out of our government, out of our school systems, out of our legal professions. Out. Right? It's okay to lurk. Yeah, Linda, it's okay to lurk. Yeah, that's when I used to do just my talking heads. How many of you all were here when I used to do 4 days a week? I'd do my talking head. and then I'd do a picture show. It'd be special. Now I'm doing picture shows every day. It takes twice, more than that, twice as long, or more than that, really. But anyway, I might get back to talking heads. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, we're getting rid of the subversives at high levels. Ha! Here's an idiot. Speaking of a subversive, Chris Coons. He's asked a simple question. Well, he doesn't really give an answer, but it was funny to watch him sit there and wiggle.
Why? Because there are conspiracy theories why you'd let in 10 million undocumented Democrats.
They're not Democrats.
I'm kidding. I mean, I'm saying that that's the whole that, and you don't want no ID voting. At the same time, you let in all these illegal.
I have to show an ID every time I vote in Delaware. Look.
But you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying. Democrats will never lose again if they're left to their own devices.
True, as you well know.
Look, God help us.
Yeah, why did you bring in 10 million illegal aliens and then you don't want voter ID? Can you joking around? Well, that's not really what we're doing. Yeah, it is what you're doing, you creep. It's so obvious. Hi, flannel cheese. How you doing? They vilified our Constitution. They vilified our president. They vilify the MAGA movement, conservatives, and they don't have any respect or understanding for what the country stands for. So, of course, they'll go out in the street and scream like banshees to destroy something that the people you're supposed to trust have vilified. They vilify themselves. Oh, my goodness, I'll get to Savannah Guthrie in a second. I meant to hit the mic. Ha ha ha, you saw my hat and my beard. My goodness. If you all hear any news while I'm live, any reports updating the Savannah Guthrie, her mother, please put something in and let us know. Because I'm like everybody else, I've been watching. Oh, here's Dopey Don Lemon. Here's Dopey Don Lemon. And listen to his talking points. He puts forth the libel that ICE agents are being violent with people without cause, that we don't have enough people to pick the crops because of ICE, which is bull. We've had for 50 years, we had more than 50 years, programs where people can be, that's where the word migrant farmers, migrant sharecroppers could come in and pick during the season and go back home. We've always had those programs. But anyway, he tries to hammer at this guy, but he doesn't get the answers he expects.
How do you feel about the ICE raids?
The who?
ICE raids, like immigration.
I feel good about them.
Yeah, you want them to crack down?
More, yes.
You do?
Yes, been waiting for years, all my life.
And what about them, like, roughing people up?
Nah, that shit crazy. Don't put your hands on nobody. That's crazy. Don't hurt nobody. Do it the legal way.
But that's what they're doing, though.
That shit ugly. Then no, I don't feel great about that. I mean, don't hurt nobody. At the same time, get them out of here. Get them all out of here. Please and thank you. Trump 4 more years for that.
Did you
just for that? Just
Did
for
you
that.
vote for him?
No, hell no. I can't vote. I lost my voting rights when I was 22 years old. I apologize.
You went away?
Yeah, for assault and battery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you said 4 more years for Trump?
Just because I want him to concentrate on nothing but immigration and getting them out of here. Just for that.
You don't think they contribute to the economy at all?
Of course they do. Of course they have. At the same time, think about the people who wasn't able to contribute because the immigrants was there. You know what I'm saying? The people who live here and who was born here, was raised here, who has the same skill set that they have, but wasn't able to do their job because they were there illegally to do it. Yeah. Now the people who's here legally, like me, I guess you, him, can't do that job because them people who are illegal are doing it, which is not cool for us.
But you know they're having trouble filling jobs. They can't find people to fill jobs.
Shit,
they're getting rid of so many people.
Okay, what kind of jobs are they? You know,
all over in the service industry and farming.
Because it's like everybody got to reset. They're gonna reset themselves. That's all they gotta do. Reset themselves.
The farmers are complaining about it, that they want Trump to ease up a little bit because they thought they were just going to do the violent people. They need undocumented immigrants in order to get food to your table.
It's not true, bro. It's not true.
No, that is true.
That's not true, bro. That's not
you don't want to get facts.
There ain't no American born and raised here that won't do the job. They crazy as hell. I know lots of them in my projects. Trust and believe me.
Well, why aren't they doing it then?
Because they don't have the opportunity because it's not there. They ain't going down there just to get
there
rejected.
Are people who can't keep their restaurants open because they're getting rid of their undocumented workers. And they're trying to get workers here that are American-born, and they're not taking the jobs. They don't want those jobs.
Oh, they don't want them jobs. Okay, I don't know nothing about that, man. All I know is that I'll get this job. I'll take the job. I'll do like 15, like the Jamaicans. I have 15 different jobs. You know, I'll do one of theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nicely told him, no, I like the way Trump's handling things. And there you have it. Yeah, I couldn't be that nice. I'm glad he was that nice. But when he would use the term undocumented workers with me, I'd tell him to quit lying. Just shut your filthy mouth with that kind of talk. They're illegal aliens, you dumb ASS. That's what I would say to him. Hi, yeah, Mr. Brendan. So I don't know why they mess with me like they do. I tell you what, I'm going to take another chance. I'm going to read another story. That's what happened to me. You all are my witness. I was reading a story about Joe Biden, remember? And that's right when I got nailed. Right when I got nailed. I think I will leave this one up for a little bit. There we go. Right in the middle of that. Did you all get the chance to see 1 and 2? I was talking about Epstein files. Here you go. When you turn 13 and discover you're competing with CEOs, billionaires, and musicians for girls your own age. Isn't that awful? Ha! I'm just looking at the chats. So, let me see. Should I read this? If I all of a sudden disappear, I will come back, I hope. But remember the last time they banned me for a week? And then they took my whole channel down about 2 weeks after that, and I appealed it, and then they put my channel back up. But each time they started warning me, I think. They started interrupting my broadcast. How many of you all remember that? So I guess I'll take another chance. It was the same person I was reading. Her report was Christina Aguayo, right? And this time around, if I disappear, you know what's going on. But I'll read it anyway. Why don't they like Christina Aguayo's reports? I don't know. Remember when Ricky Gervais called out all the P3DO files in Hollywood at the Golden Globes? He directly called out Epstein's, quote, friends, to the visible discomfort of many, including Tom Hanks. A big year for P3DO file movies. Shut up. I know Jeffrey Epstein was your friend, but I don't care. You're in no position to lecture anyone. Gervais delivered the opening remarks at the 77th Golden Globes on January 5th, 2020, where he appeared to confirm the open secret in Hollywood that is allegedly being revealed in the Epstein files. In this world are some of the most important TV and movie executives in the world. People from every background. Let me get to where I was. Oh, come on now. There we go. But they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ron Farrow. Do you all know who Ron Farrow is? An American Pulitzer Prize winning investigative journalist, author, and lawyer, known for exposing S3-actual assault allegations. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year for P3DO file movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up, I don't care. Spoiler alert, there's a second season. So he didn't KILL himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. What? I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your way here on your own plane, didn't you? So if you win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So if you win, come up, accept your little reward, and thank your God and your agent and F off. Gervais' fifth and final hosting gig at the Globes struck a nerve. The monologue is coming back up now because of another Epstein file dump. And the Grammy Awards were anti-ICE agitators turned the award show into a protest against law enforcement, and where Ketanji Brown Jackson was applauding the anti-ICE comments and protesters. Here she is. How did such a ridiculous individual end up on the Supreme Court? Such a ridiculous individual. Senator Blackburn wants Justice Jackson inquiry over Grammys. Well, people shake their heads about congressional inquiries, subpoenas, strongly worded letters, stuff like that. But hey, they can go to jail if they don't show up. Who's the next one that's got to show up? Right here. Or maybe get subpoenaed. Let me put it that way. Diamond Silk reports. GOP reps call for Bill Gates to testify on Epstein files. Man, this is why they're so desperate about the midterms. If they can hold out, and flip the House, they can put a stop to it all. But hey, let's get Ketanji Brown Jackson investigated. Let's get Bill Gates testifying. Let's get the depositions done with the Clintonios, right? Because this is what we've got in the House now. Oh, they said Virginia is switching its map around now. I forget the exact numbers, but I think the Republicans are going to lose like 4 seats because of what Virginia is doing. So keep an eye on Virginia as far as DOJ investigations into election fraud. I'm allowed to use that term now. Texas Democrat Representative Gene Wu goes full racist. Non-whites share the same oppressor, and we are the majority now. We can take over this country. We can take over this country. Wait a minute. I thought the people already took over this country in 1776, the revolution. Who is the we that wants to take the country from the people? That's what I want to know. Here he is, right here in his own words. For history's sake, let him babble. I don't know. He looks, I don't know, Irish? I don't know.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk.
Well, if he's a Chinese national, he's a subversive. He's a plant. He is, as Trump terms it, an enemy of the people. I gotta watch what I say because those words aren't allowed. Listen to this rhetoric right here. Do any of you all know who this bunch is? It's supposed to be some prominent conservative, liberal, I'm sorry, progressive talk bunch. I don't know. I've never heard of them.
Joe Biden was somewhat of a bridge. He was supposed to be a bridge or a palate cleanser or somebody who morally and ethically was antithetical to who Donald Trump was. Uncle Joe was the nice guy, older white guy, comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right? Well, I think what that episode in our country's history showed us is that we really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
Did you hear that choice of words? Look at Don Lemon in the upper left-hand corner. A fumigation, an exorcism, more aggressive, surgical removal of the cancer that is MAGA. Listen, anybody that's a dual citizen should not be permitted to be in the Congress or sitting on the courts. We don't need divided loyalties. But we have them. We have them. Let me go through these real quick. Let me see. Remember that guy that got SHOT in the back over there in Ruski land? The head of security services. Wait a minute. Come on now. Expand. Just day before yesterday's broadcast, I read that story. The person who shot at General Alexeyev has been arrested and is currently being transported from Dubai, of all places. His accomplice was also arrested, and special services from several countries assisted in the operation. In addition, it is reported that the deputy chief of the GRU, Lieutenant General Vladimir Alexeyev, regained consciousness after the attempt and is already talking. There is no threat to his life. Well, that's good. But this guy here is going to be one miserable SOB. Here he is, there with a circle around him, the glasses on. There he is with his hood pulled back, wearing his glasses, and then with the hood up, wearing his glasses. Members of the group attempting to assassinate the first deputy head of the GRU. The person in glasses is the perpetrator, who held citizenship of both Russia and Ukraine. Wait a minute, dual citizenship? Okay. Divided loyalty, right? More and more often, the perpetrators of crimes are individuals who hold dual citizenship. So they're getting the message over there in Ruski land. They had a video of them hauling them off the copter, but I didn't. I don't know if I downloaded that or not. If I have it, if I come across, here he is. Yeah, here he is. Now this, at first blush, this would look similar to when they got that Benghazi guy. Remember? Night before last, I showed video of the guy getting taken off a plane who was arrested for Benghazi. This is not overly rough, but when the Benghazi guy, they kind of let him take his foot and shakily put it down step by step, real slow. They helped him like they were helping a little old man. These guys are a little more brusque. And, oh, by the way, they're wearing masks, too. Yeah, in the black van, keeping your head down. Like I said, that's going to be one sorry SOB. He's going to be miserable. And he'll give up everybody and their brother. I won't get into that conversation, but they say that enhanced interrogations don't work. I will say BS. BS. But anyway, he's going to get enhanced interrogation. You can bet your bippy on that. If the war is stopped, Europe will not participate in the ceasefire monitoring. This follows from Zelensky's words. He stated that the monitoring will be carried out by Ukraine, Russia, and the United States. The military of these countries have already agreed on the technical details of this control, and the USA has confirmed its participation. That is a diplomatic way of saying, Europe, we don't want your troops. We don't want your influence. We don't want your BS. It's going to be Russia, the US, and Ukraine. Macron and all the other screwballs over in Europe, stay out. Iran will attack U.S. bases in the Persian Gulf region in the event of an attack, said Iranian Foreign Minister Arakchi. He added that Tehran does not intend to discuss its missile program either now or in the future. He also ruled out the export of enriched uranium from the country. So they're playing hardball. Well, what did the U.S. do? They said, okay, we're going to keep it. We'll keep having talks. We'll try again next week or tomorrow or whatever. Meanwhile, they put out a second travel warning. Day before yesterday, I reported that they told everybody to evacuate all U.S. citizens from Iran. Well, they put it out again. Iran increased security measures, road closures, public transportation disruptions, and internet blockages are ongoing. The government of Iran continues to restrict access to mobile, landline, and national internet networks. Airlines continue to limit or cancel flights to and from Iran. U.S. citizens should expect continued internet outages, plan alternative means of communication, and if safe to do so, consider departing Iran by land to Armenia or Turkey. So it's a security alert. I wouldn't be surprised if the next meeting, when the Iranian bigwigs are sitting there talking to U.S. diplomats, that something doesn't go boom. And they'll say, how's that for negotiations? I don't know. Trump's getting tired of screwing with them, so they're turning down all the key points that Trump's trying to put through. He said, I hope they take the deal. It looks like they're not going to take the deal. Canada and France, in a sign of support for Greenland, have opened consulates on the island. Well, if they could get their toes in Ukraine to cause trouble, they would. But as you heard in the earlier report, they're not going to be permitted in the Ukraine situation. They shouldn't be permitted in Greenland either. We'll see what Trump does with that. Sounds to me like somebody wants some more tariffs. They like tariffs, then they're going to get them. And I hope the Supreme Court is paying attention that the president needs tariffs in order to have an effective foreign policy. Somebody did this spoof. Now, if there's any copyright people looking at this video, this is an Al Yankovic type of parody of a song. It is not the actual copyrighted song.
I feel like I'm getting deja vu. This is like Iraq War number 2. Iraq War number 2. I like the look of those oil supplies. I'd be ashamed if someone invaded you. And if someone invaded you. And I ran so far away. Bomb I bomb them night and day. But destroy USA.
That J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance. J.D. on the guitar, that cracks me up. But anyway, I tried to upload that video off of Truth Social in its entirety 3 times. It wouldn't upload. Must not have uploaded totally on the platform. I don't know. Oh, what's going on? We got some arguments going on here. Y'all be nice now. Wait a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Greg, hi, Greg. Who's Devin? You're down on Miss Donald T, Mr. T. I like hearing that, Angela. Let's see. Did I hear about? Here, I'll put that on the screen. I'll put that on the screen. Did you all hear about this? Where'd it go? I don't know if I can put it on the screen or not. Huh. Is it on the screen? Did I hear? Yeah, it's on the screen, isn't it? Ha ha ha. No arguing in the chats. Devin, Trump has got so many things, and he has to be on his toes. Trump is costing you money? You're looking at 13 months. He's been in 13 months, and what you're dealing with is the results of 60 years. 60 years of a infiltration into our government by progressive forces, and it made wait a minute, how do that? There we go. But anyway, I put your comment up, Angela. Ha, you are special. And Devin, now you gotta settle down. You gotta give Trump a break. He's dealing actually we've had communist forces influencing this nation's policies for over 100 years. Ever since the creation of the Fed, the sinking of the Titanic, all that stuff, Devin. So Roland and Greg and everybody, we got to introduce Devin to how things got to where they're at. You see the picture on the screen? You're supposed to be the little girl in the red shirt helping the little girl in the white shirt puke because they're finding out. Oh, okay. All right, Devin. Nobody's getting down on you, bro. But Trump is got a huge pile of dung to shovel out. Huge pile of dung. Give the man some time. As somebody put up a meme and said, let him cook. And they're fighting him every damn step of the way. Remember this? Every step of the way. And the media's covering for them. Outrageous. You would have never dreamt it. Back in my day, a politician would have never dreamt about withholding military pay to pay illegals. But they have made it normal. They have made it noble to sacrifice the well-being of military families for people who don't even belong in this country. It's unreal. Unreal. What is this video? Let me see. Minnesota State Police are arresting anti-ICE agitators en masse. Here, this ought to cheer everybody up. Everybody. Me, Devin, Roland, Greg, everybody. We'll all be in a good mood.
Under arrest. Be seated where you are. Follow the directions of officers. You are under arrest. Be seated where you are and follow the directions of officers.
You're under arrest. Oh, is that okay, hon? Okay, thank you. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. I was gonna get back to my car. Is that all right?
Do you want her?
Am I who? Okay.
No.
Oh, what do you want? Sure.
Picked a good time to try to get to your car right when they're telling everybody they're under arrest. I wonder if she's trying to slip through. But anyway, that's the way they do it now. They say, get out of here, and on account of whatever. And if they don't, they just say, get down to the ground. You are now under arrest. And they lock them all up. Jerry said, look staged. And yeah, Devin, thank you. Back at you, buddy. And you know what? Let's see. I saw it. I think it's Angela. Angela said it's happening. You'll see it unfold soon. And you know what? I almost put on my thumbnail. I was trying to think of a way to put it up there. It's happening, because I had a thumbnail of Trump with these psychedelic colors around him, and it said underneath it, "It's happening." And that's what I almost put on my thumbnail. But I put fundamental change begins. Fundamental change begins. Instead of "it's happening." It's true, Angela. I almost put "it's happening" on this picture you're looking at. But I decided to say fundamental change begins, because that made me think of Obama saying, "I'm going to fundamentally change America." And he did. He fundamentally changed the school systems to steer our children towards a psychological nightmare of a way of life. He weakened the Constitution. He infested the judicial system with lunatic liberal judges. They went all out, full bore, 8 solid years. And then attacking and jailing of political opponents, destroying the university systems by putting in progressive communist professors. It has been a all-out assault on the Constitution and our way of life. So I decided to put fundamental change begins, because this court decision of no more habeas corpus BS, no more posting bond when you're here. We got to do that for every damn illegal. How many? 30, 40 million? No way. There's no way our system can handle it. And that's what they were counting on, overwhelming the system, outlasting a 48-month presidency. And with Trump, they couldn't afford to let him win again. That's why they went ahead with Dr. Fauci and the plan. We have been through a plan, okay, and endemic. Put those two words together. We've been through the assault. I just discussed and enumerated all the methods. They've not all the methods, but many of the methods. Our country has been through hell, has been through trauma, psychological trauma, at the same time coping with military-grade psychological warfare campaigns, psyops against our friends and neighbors by the most skilled and conniving bunch in the world, laser focused on the United States. So it's called getting blackpilled. I think that's the term. Some people may be feeling they're being blackpilled. And I'll show you a meme. How some people feel. And I want to warn against it. But at the same time, I'm going to be keeping my eye open. You see what's on the screen? This is what you call a black pill meme. That's what I call it. That's my name for this. A black pill meme. When the left is in government, I'm going to import 100 million migrants. When the right is in government, we're deporting 10 migrants. Look how tough we are. Well, that's why it was so important for Trump and Tom Homan to come out and say, no, it's not just criminal migrants. We're getting them all out. So don't let yourself be blackpilled. I mean, Trump has been through hell himself. Black pill meme, don't forget it. What's this one? Another black pill meme? Let me see. Italy. launches its largest migration expansion in decades with nearly 500,000 work visas. Be a right-wing politician. Run on anti-immigration. Win. Betray your nation. Repeat. You can't vote yourself out of this. You can't vote your way out of this. This is a black pill. Get people to go, oh, it's all corrupt. Both sides are against us. That's what these memes and the people, some that make these memes believe that. I don't. How long have you been part of the awakening? I remember the day of the first post for CUE. You know what I'm saying? Don't put that letter in the chats. But you can pronounce the word CUE. I have been paying attention to that since day one. And I started my broadcast. After everybody on the internet was feeling that Joe Biden, after the first year in office, the military was going to step in because there were creators who knew better, creators who were former military, that were spreading the word that 11.3 meant the laws of war, that after a year, the illegal occupation could be removed by military force, and it was BS. And I went on the internet, went on a podcast, and told the truth about what that was. And I have seen so many people over the past almost 10 years be put on the edge of their chair, thinking any minute that the military was going to step in and arrest these people that will be arrested one day. Will be. But it was too soon. And I felt it was sensationalism, and people were doing it. A lot of them believed it, but some were doing it just for clicks and views. The hell with that. I tell the truth and the way I see it, and everything I discussed about how this operation was unfolding has come to pass. That it was going to be done in such a way as to minimize psychological trauma to this country, minimize the chances of the loss of civility and civil order. We've had riots, we've had unrest, but it wasn't because of the operation conducted by the U.S. military, which is what we're dealing with right now. The largest military operation in human history is ongoing right now. Yeah, thank you, Todd. Fubar, nice to see you. Yeah, I leave my chats up, so be careful what you put in there, folks. Highway. Yeah, it's being done. Yeah, I leave my chats up, so if you watch my past videos, you can also read the chats from days gone by. That's why I tell people to be careful when what they put in the chats. If you get emotional or something, don't put something in there that you say, oh, gee, I shouldn't have said that or shouldn't have done that. Just, take your time, because we're all on the same page. We all want what's best for our country. And many of us could say, hey, I'm not going to be around. Let it go to hell in the handbag. I'm not going to be around. But no, like Trump is saying, the country's given him so much, and it's given us so much. We got to do something for our country. And a lot of our friends and family are victims of an unprecedented psychological warfare campaign for decades. Oh my. Yeah, Debbie, we got to clean up the court. You know, I saw this posted on Ruski sites. Trump breaking. Trump says he doesn't sleep on planes and likes looking out the window for missiles and enemies. Remember the video I played where Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan who got assassinated, where Trump said, "I'll see you later, space cowboy." But Shinzo Abe said, "Before I go, I have one thing I must do." And he blocked the bullet with his hand. Remember I played that video? Well, look what they're putting up in your Eastern European news. Remember the tree? Donald, Yevgeny Viktorovich, you died, and I never got the chance to say goodbye. Donald, there is one last thing I must tell you. Do not sleep on planes. Look out the window for missiles and enemies. Thank you, my friend, I will. See you later, space cowboy. Remember that? That's a play off of that video, the Shinzo Abe video. And it's worrisome. But we know from the CUE posts that they already made an attempt on Trump over Hawaii. I've talked about that many times. Come on, you guys. Settle down. Settle down. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Here's Mr. T. Rapid response. Trump talking about the meme. They call it a meme. It's not a meme. Trump posted a video about voter fraud, and they didn't trim the beginning of another video that was starting right after the video he posted. And it happened to show Obama and Big Mike. And it was not flattering, okay? So here's the way Trump handled it with the dopey press. And like I said, even if Trump posted, who cares? They can all kiss our rear ends because of everything they said bad about us.
Yeah, I looked at it, I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud. And I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we turned it, you know. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
How many times does he say voter fraud? How many times did he say voter fraud? And all they talk about is that stupid little split second posting of another video that was unflattering to Michelle and Barack, the Stain Obama. Barack the Stain. So anyway, here's what Victor David Hanson's got to say. See, because a lot of these people, the majority, not the majority, but I don't know, 40%, 50% of people don't know anything about CUE, don't know anything about a military operation, don't even realize they've been dealing with psychological warfare operations. They don't know. They focus on what they've always been taught, what they've seen, what they've learned about politics all their life. Victor David Hanson, here's what I believe this is him, let me see. Yeah, he's describing, that's a cool helmet in the background. Imagine if you had to live like that, guys. Look at that helmet back there in the background. Oh my gosh. Instead of going to work, you had to go out and trudge across the desert with a sword and then find the guy that's coming at you with a sword and go out there and beat the hell out of each other. That was your life back then. We've come a long way. So anyway, here's Victor David Hanson. He's speaking to a large portion of the population, and large means could be 30%, 40%, 50%. That's a large portion of the population who don't realize the things we're discussing. He's talking about nuts and bolts of party activity, perception, how the American people perceive parties, and it doesn't look good for the Democrats.
Independent doesn't want his daughter competing with somebody who's 6'2", who says he's a woman slamming a volleyball down her throat. They don't want her 14-year-old girl with somebody with male genitalia dressing next to them. They just don't want that. They don't want somebody who is in Congress shouting and yelling every day about white this and white supremacy and white, like Jasmine Crockett. They don't want to hear it. They got fatigue. The average person does not want to turn on the television and see 10,000 people and say, well, I had to get a COVID vaccination. This guy has no money, and I'm in line already to get a mammogram, and I've been waited 6 months. This person's just going to come in, and they don't want that. So let the Democrats be the Democrats. Don't try to take attention away from them. All you have to do is listen to Waltz, who is a buffoon. And when he talks about Fort Sumter, he's going to be, I guess, does he think he's going to fire on? He's the states' rights guy. He's the insurrectionist. So when he brings up Fort Sumter, you think, you idiot, your simile or your historical allusion means that you're basically an insurrectionist that wants to destroy federal property, and that's what you've been doing. You're helping people destroy federal property in Minnesota. You're an insurrectionist. So they are, and let Kamala Harris talk. She talked the other day. I couldn't understand a word she said about HQ was headquarters. No kidding. And Gavin Newsom, he should be a contortionist or a gymnast. He has a way of his hands and legs, I don't know what he's doing.
They kind of intermingle.
But he can't, he's always taught, he always says foul things. His team has all these F words and this profanity, and and then you just look at him, you say, Gavin, we spent $30 billion on high-speed rail. We don't have 1 foot of track laid. It's a disaster. Gavin, these poor people in Pacific Palisades, 90% of them can't build. You've outregulated everybody. They don't have any chance to get a building permit. They have no insurance solutions. Why don't you try to help them? And Gavin, we're facing another deficit. Why do you give all this to illegal aliens and you don't care about the people who are citizens? Gavin, have you seen what the 99 freeway is? We just had 59 cars where it goes from 3 lanes to 2 in the fog. It was a disaster. People are getting killed every day on this. Can't you at least say to California. We will have 3 lanes in every directions on all major north-south. He can't do any of that. He's inept. And so I just think that they don't have a candidate. They don't have the issues.
There you go. There you go. Aside from all the stuff we're talking about, the regular politics of it all, they don't have a candidate. They don't have the issues. The stuff they're putting forward is ridiculous. And that's on top of what we're doing. The digital warriors, okay, in this 5D warfare. We're coming through with it. So anyway, here, a lot of people know this guy. This guy here, this guy, what am I doing with this guy? But anyway, paradoxical quote of the day from Ben Stein. Fathom the hypocrisy of a government that requires every citizen to prove they are insured, but not everyone must prove they are a citizen. Now add this. Many of those who refuse or are unable to prove they are citizens will receive free health insurance paid for by those who are forced to buy insurance because they are citizens. That's what Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? Think about that for a while. That's what they did. They enslaved us into this communist healthcare system with fines and threats, and then brought in anybody from anywhere in the world and gave it to them free. That's just one thing they did. A third of the nation's economy, healthcare, was commified. Oh my gosh, thank you, Mac. Your car, what happened to your car, buddy? Your car broke you? Oh my goodness, when you bought me a car, well, don't buy if it's a hardship. Pow! I'm going to give you a pound. I'm going to give you more pounds than that for going by me a car. Boom! I appreciate it very much, Mac. And Wayne helped out this week, and Mike and Bev. And Miss Mendersu started off the whole week with a big boom. Here's Miss Mendersu. I'm going to boom Miss Mendersu. Boom! And hilarious too, William, Norm, and the younger gang. Right? I appreciate it. Well, Mac, you take care of yourself, buddy. Pow! This is a totally viewer-supported channel. That's why it's commercial free, because I am not monetized, and what you see is just the fruits of my efforts and from my semi-fertile mind. Oh, you bought your maid a new Subaru. Oh. Yeah, Starmer's done, Debbie. Miss Mendersu put a bunch of booms and coffees in. I don't have a Cash App, Devin. I tell you what, though, Buy Me a Coffee is, what is his name? Mark Dice. Mark Dice started Buy Me a Coffee, and he ditched all his other, not all of them, but most of his other ways, because they're judgmental. Some of these other places, and they'll debank you, or I don't know about Cash App, but Cash App is tied into PayPal, and I got my issues with PayPal over the way they've acted in the past, especially about people who were MAGA. So, yeah, I have a PayPal account, but it's for emergencies, and I started that, 15 years ago. But I will not do a Cash App. And Buy Me Coffee is easy. It's a very simple. Let me put the link in. You don't, if you go to it, you don't have to get anything. You can just check out the page. Let me put a link in, You could just go to it and check out, holy cow. And you can put your name in there as a supporter if you want to help. If not, you can, I think they have a thing where you just be a follower. But anyway, so it's no risk to go to the page and look at it. I just put a link in at the 124 mark. The 124 mark. You can buy as many coffees as you want to help out. So anyway, never hurts to look unless she catches you. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding, guys. But anyway, let's see here. Here's what is this? Trump put up. This is another thing I was talking. I think this might be the black pill thing. A lot of people are getting black pilled, but red pill stuff is coming around. Like here, just in Fulton County, officials panic, file desperate move to take ballots back. Good luck with that. You had a warrant signed by a judge, a criminal complaint being investigated. Oh, you can't take evidence in a criminal complaint. Who the hell came up with that business? Fulton County, Georgia fired back Wednesday after the Fed swooped in on its election offices demanding the return of ballots and other voting materials seized by the FBI last week. Good luck with that. I can't wait to see how that plays out. But let me tell you, they're all getting eyed up. They're all getting eyed up as to who is engaged in this lawfare. Here's a good meme for you all to put on your meta page. I'm so old, I remember when it was illegal to break the law. He reminds me of me sitting there next to my stove. Got an oil lamp. What's that he got on the stove? That's an AI picture. That looks like an oil can on the stove. You wouldn't set an oil can on your stove. I have set my coffee on top of the stove. But anyway, Melvina, nice to see you. So some other people came in. Let me see. Iliad, how you doing? Nice to see you. I think that's who I saw that I didn't get a chance to shout out. Larry's here. All right. Wayne's saying, yeah, I can't afford it, but you still got to pay it. Trish is here. Yeah, she's giving encouraging words. Yeah, we're united we stand, guys. There isn't a family in creation that got along all the time. Remember that. And, I was kind of delaying talking about this, but I'm going to talk about it now. This business with Savannah Guthrie's mother is horrible. I heard she was a liberal and she was, typical, very nasty about Trump. All that needs to go aside. Savannah Guthrie family offers to pay ransom. Now, I'm going to play this video, okay? I didn't get that vibe. Remember I was talking about Mark Geragos? And that I had heard somewhere that he was involved somehow with the funding or assisting financially with the production of Midas Trash Network. I'm not 100% sure about that. But what I think about Midas Trash Network. And so keep an eye on Mark Geragos. I may have called him Greg Geragos in the past, but Mark Geragos. he's on News Nation. Now, that's got Fredo on it, right? Cuomo. He doesn't like that term, but I'm smart. Not like everybody says. But anyway, here's News Nation. It says, Guthrie family may have gotten proof of life. Mark Garagos. This was put out after the video that I'm about to play. And I didn't get that vibe at all. They said they would pay, but the vibe was not for a live person, okay? What vibe do you get from this? I think they were told, and it's so sad because now, after this video came out, yeah, Sissy, that's right. They started searching sewers, septic tanks. When I was talking night before last, and I mentioned past cases where things went wrong with a family member and they tried to make it appear to be a robbery gone wrong or a kidnapping or something like that, or just a plain old disappearance. I almost told the story about a guy over in the UK who was elderly, in his 80s, said his wife left him. And turned out he stuffed her in his cistern. I mean, his septic tank. Okay, it took him a while to find her, too. People have been crammed in wells, abandoned wells, cisterns, and a cistern is where you store water. If you don't have a well, you call a company, they fill your cistern up. It's underground. It's like a 4,000, some are 2,000. I've got a 5,000 gallon one here on a project. I don't need it, but back in the day it was used. I've told you all the main house here was built in 1865. So there's all kinds of places. Cisterns, wells, sewers, septic tanks, underground gas tanks that have been abandoned, a lot of things and it looks like that's where they're looking. And they got a warrant for the sister's house, the girl sitting there in the brown jacket. Their first pleas that were put up, I didn't play them because it's tough. It's heartbreaking. And I thought the sister at the time, her behavior was peculiar to me. Unfortunately, as many of you may have, I have seen people in distress. I've seen people in situations where they didn't know what was going on and it was bad. And I just thought her affect was peculiar. And I told you all about her husband, okay, that he was an odd duck. And my instincts were more in line with he may have been involved. A hunch, but it was a hunch based on facts that I didn't get into. So now they're searching her home. You see nothing of her husband, Tomas, right? Nothing. And they say Tomas is the last one to see her alive. The timeline is that he dropped her off somewhere in the evening, 9 to 9:30 thereabouts, maybe closer to 10. And just 3 to 4 scant hours later, her doorbell cam was disabled and removed. Less than an hour, 50 minutes roughly after that, her pacemaker lost communication with her Apple Watch. I said a couple of days ago, they were taking helicopters over nearby area, and I thought they were looking for a body. But they could have been doing an electronic sweep for the pacemaker would continue to put out a signal. It would continue to put out a signal even if she was no longer alive. So, anyway, here is their very brief. I'll play it twice on a loop. Their brief message to this alleged kidnapper.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So it sounds to me like they're wanting her remains back. They would celebrate her life, and that even in that condition, she's valuable to them, and they'll pay for the remains. That is my feeling. And I tell you, about 20 years ago, I had a friend who lived in a remote farm area with a long driveway, probably between a quarter and a half mile long driveway. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. And unfortunately, he passed away. He had his wife with him, and it was tragic in that she called the ambulance. It took them a while to get there because it's way out in the country and in a long, bumpy, lumpy road leading up to the house. But she went through quite a trauma where she thought he was still alive and he was responding some way to her efforts, but he had already passed away. But the pacemaker, now this was 20 years ago, between 15 and 20 years ago. Older technology, there wasn't this Wi-Fi stuff connected to everything. But anyway, the pacemaker was continuing for at least 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even 20, continuing to jolt his body to try to get his heart to start again, and she thought he was alive. And he wasn't, but he was twitching and reacting to the pacemaker. And I'm only bringing that up because when they brought in the military helicopters, I was thinking, well, they would have more advanced infrared technology for search purposes, but also they would have more sensitive Wi-Fi data collection in case the pacemaker is still operational and searching for the Apple Watch. So anyway, and Donald Trump said day before yesterday, Donald Trump said that he thought this would be resolved, that there would be he said a solution, I think he said, I'm not sure the exact words, something of that ilk, and that it would be definitive. And that told me day before yesterday evening or yesterday morning that they know what's going on. And why they're going through this exercise, I don't know, but there may be a reason for it. And just because she's married to Tomas, and Tomas may be innocent. I mean, speculation. But doesn't mean she knows about what happened. But I can see a scenario where some kind of argument or drawn out conversations or argument or whatever. What if he didn't leave after he dropped her off? What if he went in the house with her? What if they got in an argument? And I'll tell you something else, folks. When you look at the picture, and I'm not going to put them up here, the picture of the blood on the porch. The blood on the porch. What do you all notice about it? Now, all right, you all, focus on what I'm talking about. Don't aggravate me. I don't like back and forth in chat that's argumentative. What did you all notice about the BLOOD on the porch? What are you talking about, Sherry? Let me see. I mean, this is the conversation we're on right now. Yeah, Larry, but that's taking a big risk. I don't think she left the house alive myself. I really don't. You're right, Miss Menderson, because she's very high profile. Very high profile. What did you all notice about the BLOOD on the porch? Well, I'll tell you, and you'll have to go from memory. It is round drops, at least the ones I could see clearly, which means the person wasn't moving. They were stationary. When you're moving, a drop gets elongated, okay, and it splatters in the direction of your travel, even if you're going slow. But if it's a stationary situation, you're standing there, it goes down into a round circle, straight down drop. And that's what I saw on the porch. I believe somebody pulled her out of there, had her sit laying on the porch, or her head was supported by maybe some blankets or something. Then they disabled the ring cam. I don't think she left the house alive. I really don't. And you can see a scenario where there's a argument that goes on and violence happens. And that's when somebody starts thinking, what the hell am I going to do? We didn't hear anything about what was the situation on the inside of the house. What kind of droplets or smears, or they had plenty of time to clean up. It could have happened at the time he dropped her off. Maybe she was injured and still with us, but he didn't know what to do. He'd done something bad. He hurt her somehow in a fit. I don't know. But what everybody's going on now, keep hope alive, act like there's a chance to rescue her because you don't want to speculate, be wrong, and miss an opportunity if by some chance she is alive. Tomas is innocent. You got to keep all those doors open until you find something like Donald Trump said, conclusive. Yeah, if it was a regular kidnapping, you wouldn't wait 3 days to put out a demand. That sounds like to me like somebody trying to figure out, like the person who stages a robbery, a person who tells a story about, oh, my wife took off with another man, or whatever. Is everybody still fighting? We are not going to have that. Now, see, Devin, I'm going to take that down for you. I told you the internet's forever. And, you know, I'm doing you a favor if I can do it. There we go. So anyway, let's not do that anymore. Collect ourselves, united we stand, and no more of that. I mean it. I work too hard on this channel. I'm trying to keep a train of thought, and I got this childish crap going on in the chats. I can't keep a damn train of thought. Very disappointing. I mean, how lucky everybody is to be living in this time. This is the most consequential time in human history that anyone has ever seen. Ever. Except for the coming of Jesus H. Christ. This is how consequential this time is. You should be proud that you're a part of it. Proud that you're here to witness it. Look at this. Look at this. If anybody wants to cry in their beer, 3 Doors Down lead singer Brad Arnold has died at the age of 47 after a long battle with kidney cancer. 47. A multimillionaire. They performed at Donald Trump's first inauguration. Had everything. And he's gone. He didn't get to see what you're getting to see. Here he is right here. This is him telling the public what happened. That he's going to be fighting a battle for his life.
Hey everybody, it's Brad from 3 Doors Down. I hope you're having a great day today. Got some not so good news for you today. And so I'd been sick a couple of weeks ago and then went to the hospital and got checked out and had actually got the diagnosis that I had a clear cell renal carcinoma that had metastasized into my lung. And that's it's stage 4, and that's not real good. But you know what? We serve a mighty God, and He can overcome anything. So I have no fear. I really sincerely am not scared of it at all. But it is gonna force us to cancel our tour this summer, and we're sorry for that. And I'd love for you to lift me up in prayer every chance you get. And I think it's time for me to maybe go listen to Not My Time a little bit, right? Thank you guys so much. God loves you. We love you. See you.
Think about that. Anybody that thinks they got it bad. Like my dad used to say, you can always make a buck. As long as you can swing your arms and legs out of bed and you got your health, you can always make a buck. At least you're here. Rich or poor, you're seeing a generational change. Well, maybe we'll take a hint from Somalia, right? This is Somalia. What kind of changes are they doing over in Somalia? Are they smarter than us?
Somalia's electoral authorities have started issuing voter ID cards across Mogadishu as the capital prepares for its first direct municipal council elections in decades under a one-person, one-vote system. Printing at the Somali Independent Election Committee headquarters operates around the clock in 2 8-hour shifts, producing an estimated 30,000 to 40,000 cards daily.
Look at that gold ring. Look at that gold ring. Where'd he get that from? Minnesota? Yeah. Probably. What's this one? Oh, Cash Patel. I'll save him for another broadcast. So anyway, I hope everybody's getting along in the chats because let me tell you something. I'm going to finish up with this. Remember, I like to have normal young ladies finish my broadcasts. People who got their mind wired right. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do here. I think you will enjoy. Well, I think you will find what she has to say deep. Okay, deep. And it plays into what I'm saying about how fortunate we all are to be here. And that's why I always thank you all for spending your precious time with me. So before this signs off, I will put another link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee. I want to thank everybody who helped me out. And she is a registered nurse. And she's seen people approach their end. And we're not at our end. We have seen our friends in the chats meet their end. And I wish all you all well and hope that is a long time from now. Hi, Cole. So anyway, try to reach out with an understanding hand, okay, with each other. So anyway, you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
I have been an ICU nurse for 4 years, and something that I would like to say and share, and I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears, is this. Every single person who passes away says the same thing. They say, can you please tell my family I love them? I don't feel good. I know I'm going to die. But how do they know? Okay? How do they know? There's a shift that happens that's spiritual that nobody can explain, right? Their vitals may be stable. Their condition may be the exact same way it was when they came in. There's nothing inherently dangerous that's screaming, this is what's going to kill them. Yet in every single circumstance, no matter what brought them in initially, no matter how many hours it is from the last time that they said that, they always die. Always. It doesn't matter how much medicine we give them. It doesn't matter how many tests, labs, CT scans, procedures are performed. The minute that inner shift happens where the spirit is crying out and telling the person, you have one more chance. This is your last opportunity. They always die. And I'm telling you guys this as somebody who's seen this time and time again. Stop playing around with y'all's lives. God is real. Jesus Christ is real. And I know that's not the popular thing to say, and I honestly don't care. You know, we've gotten so caught up with all of this foolishness. You know, people are concerned about all of these things. And I get it, because it consumes me too at times, where I worry about, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? What am I going to this? What am I going to that? But what does all of that matter when you spend your whole life amassing these things and you're going to leave it behind? Life is not meant to be an endless pursuit of things. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be appreciated. Life is meant to be explored. Why are you actually here? You guys, take it from me. I'm telling you, every single person is aware, and they know. Your spirit knows you are connected to something deeper than what we're told. If I can't tell you guys anything else, I would tell you to investigate, what is that thing? Who is this person? Why do these people say these things? Why do you find yourself getting so angry when people tell you that Jesus loves you? That God is real? Why does that bother you? Life is spiritual, whether you feel like it is or not. There's something bigger. And I don't know. I know I'm not alone in seeing this in the healthcare field. You guys, people know when they're going to die. They know. Your spirit knows. I just pray that you guys get the real answer and know the truth. That's it.